Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts, and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody. Let's take a look again on the Forex market. Today I think that we could take a look at the British pound because it has its own interesting setup. Speaking on the euro, you could see that rally into the quality, into the safe haven in the United States dollar is continuing, and yesterday euro has dropped even more. So gold market as well has dropped, so the buying of the United States currency, United States Treasury bonds is continuing. Markets are preparing for elections, preparing for holidays, because as we said already, that announcing of the results could be postponed or just lasting longer than usual because of the voting by mail as well. That's why investors prefer to sit in cash and be prepared to any negative results that could happen during these elections. So the Great Britain pound is not an exception. You can see it's also going down, but this starting action has some special meaning on the background of our longer term setup. If you remember our position on the Great British pound that we discussed in vehicle reports, actually, on the Great British pound, we have the huge reverse head and shoulders pattern on the monthly and weekly chart. And this downward action, this is the action toward bottom of the right arm. It's approximately stands around 120, 122 area. So when this retracement started, we initially has treated this as a pullback. Here was some confusion actions. It was really acceleration. That's not typical for this type of retracement. But as later it was clear, it has become clearer that this is mostly just a splash in the positivity in some background of some Brexit negotiations. It was faded very fast. So what we have currently market is dropping lower. Daily trend has turned bearish, and market has erased totally this rally. This looks bearish. So overall price action is not very strong, but it's gradually accelerating to the downside. Also, don't forget that markets gradually is coming to the deadline of the negotiations on the Brexit agreement. It's important, and a lot of questions concerning border still exist there. Probably it hardly will be resolved. And as I read some articles in the Reuters, there's really big collapse on the in the Kent area where no logistics is prepared to new reality of the taxation, of the custom working. So because there's no legislation exists for taxation with the European Union yet, it's a really big legal act that's actually has been just written, and a lot of different problems exist right now with the this customs work on the borders and potential borders. So, but this is just the top of the iceberg. So, with this background, it also will press on Great British pound. And currently, we could consider this larger ABC pattern that exists in the market. Its target stands at 23.80. It's a bit higher than the 120, 122, but as you know, the bottom of the right arm could be different. Definitely, this drop will be on background on some news. Maybe some acceleration running to the quality. Maybe some problems will be with the announcement of the results. Maybe it will be really a very small gap, and additional investigation will be needed to estimate who will win the election. So we do not know what will happen, but with this type of action, ending of the retracement, forming garbage people to sell, actually here, starting downside action, we have to consider this ABCD pattern because it fits to high time frame analysis to the weekly chart. And we just can't ignore this potential situation. So it means that here we could get some acceleration on the Great British Pound in the nearest time. Although we do not know yet with all clarity what particular will stand on the background of this possible acceleration. If will be somehow market will reverse up and taken out of this top, this ABCD pattern will be erased. We'll have to consider some different patterns. But now it's still valid, and we could really get this downward action. Besides, if you remember on the euro currency, we will talk about it in our weekly report. Recall that we have the double repo on the daily chart, on the weekly chart on the euro currency. There is also some ABCD pattern to the downside is possible, somewhere to the 115 target. So that probably could be triggered by the same reasons. On the 4-hour time frame chart, guys, we have this type of action. So here, as you can see, acceleration with the downside sell-off. Market has completed OP target, but take a look that the CD lag is much faster than AB. It was gradual pullback. Market was struggling with some support, but as soon as the rally has been erased, it was a bit simpler to the market, easier to show the downward action. Now market stands in the OP, and here's 28.66 FIB support. Theoretically, we could suggest here some pullback. Maybe it will happen. Because here, as you could see, some kind of the hand and shoulders pattern could be formed. Something of that sort could be formed. But I also do not exclude the chance that market will just break it down. Because we're standing in the tough times. It's market is very really nervous, currently strained, and that could lead to strong action on the market. As you know, on the stock market, the VIX index has reached really high levels, around 40% and even higher. So this is the indicator of the fear, and this background, market could take some fast decisions, and action could be really fast. So, but anyway, our suggestion is that currently we should not consider any long positions by far, especially on the daily chart. Here is probably could be taking some long positions for the scalp traders on the lower time frames, but currently overall sentiment looks not quite friendly for Great British Pound, and situation that we see doesn't exclude some downside acceleration on the background of some external factors probably. Supposedly they will be based on some political events probably.